Sir, may I come?
Come on in, Mr. Romel Bijalwan.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Please take a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Tell us about yourself briefly.
Sir, my name is Romil Vijalwan. I was born in Nagaon, Uttarkashi, and I have done most of my schooling from Dehradun. After that, I have done BTech from Gobind Ballabh Pant University of Agriculture and Technology in Computer Science. And post that, I have been preparing for civil services, and my hobbies are following developments of modern warfare as well as reading about existential philosophy.
Excellent. Please, sir.
Very good morning to you, Mr. Romel.
Good morning, sir.
And what does Rommel actually signify in your name?
Sir, I'm actually named after the German Field Marshal Erwin Rommel,
I
Right.
thought so.
who fought.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
sir.
wrote it down here.
Even I thought so, but I just was curious. Yeah. And you are interested in drawing lessons from modern warfare, right?
Yes, sir.
So, from the Ukraine-Russia conflict, what are the lessons you have drawn?
Sir, the major lesson from the Ukraine war has been the use of drones. That has been very wide in this war. So, sir, it shows that how important it is for a country to invest in disruptive technology, and how good research and development can play a major role in changing the face of warfare for a country. Other than that, sir, it also shows that how important it is to have soldiers who are well versed in modern technology, as these technologies, if operated by capable soldiers will act as a force multiplier.
So, where did the Russians go wrong? At least initially, they went wrong, right?
Yes, sir.
So, what was, in your sense, tactically were they wrong, or in terms of equipment, was there something lacking?
Sir, what I could assess was that the Russians greatly and underestimated the resolve of the Ukrainians to fight as well as sacrifice for their country. Other than that, sir, the logistics of the Russians were also very weak, in which we saw about a 22-kilometer jam near the capital of Ukraine. Other than that, sir, one more feature that comes to mind is that the time taken for the Russian army to convey messages about the key information of where to hit the Ukraine bases took about 2 days to reach their pilots. This severely hampered their missions.
Does it make sense to go and capture urban centers, particularly a large urban center?
Sir, while it is advised that in order to quickly take over a country, we should bypass urban centers. But since Kiev was the capital of Ukraine, so it was supposed to be a projection that if Kiev falls, then Ukraine would itself fall because of low morale. And since the president will be captured, the Ukrainian army would surrender itself. So this was the motive. So it depends on the different motives that an army might have, whether to capture or not capture a city.
Do you think the Russians would not be able to eliminate the president of Ukraine if they wanted without capturing the city?
While, sir, I am not entirely aware of the different technologies that they might have, like drone kills they could have employed to kill Vladimir Zelensky. But sir, since they did not do so I believe they did not have the ability. Otherwise, they would have gone forward with it.
No, visiting presidents have been going in and out, prime ministers have been going in and out. You think Russians would not have known of their visits? Would they not have carpet bombed the city itself? So, what was preventing that? Russians self restraint or technology or something else?
Sir, I have not really thought about this aspect very much, so my answer would not be well-formed opinion. In terms of, sir, attacking the premiers of other country, it would lead to a larger escalation. But in terms of Zelensky, why they did not target him is something that I have not explored as of yet.
And Nagorno Karabakh, you studied Nagorno Karabakh,
Yes, sir.
and that was also a demonstration of use of.
Drone warfare against
Yes, and which was the country which supplied those drones and related knowledge?
Sir, Azerbaijan was greatly supplied by Turkey.
Turkey.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, is India doing something to address this kind of modern requirement, drone technologies?
Yes, sir. Sir, in the production linked incentive scheme, drones is one of the sectors that has been included. Other than this, sir, the government has also set up a drone corridor in Karnataka. Other than that, sir, in this budget also there was a provision for interest-free loans in defense frontier technology, which includes drones as well. These are the provisions I can recall as of now.
Yeah, welcome, Mr. Rommel.
Thank you, sir.
How far you have explored existentialist philosophy? How much you could explore?
Sir, I am just a lay reader, so I use it more for self-reflection and self-help, not as an academician.
You say exploring existentialist philosophy.
Sir, actually, by exploring, I have meant that mostly I watch YouTube videos or watch some kind of lectures on this. The actual terminology that the authors themselves use, the philosophers, is very difficult for a layperson like me to understand.
What is the antithesis of existentialism, reverse of essentialism?
So the reverse of existentialism is essentialism, which means that we are all born with a set pattern to live by.
And what is nihilism?
So nihilism is a philosophy that says that life in itself has no meaning, and we as human beings also then have no meaning.
Your namesake, the German Field Marshal, believed in which philosophy?
Sir, I am not aware of which philosophy he believed, but certainly he would not have advocated for nihilism or essentialism. Must be existential.
Existentialism. He
Yes,
doesn't want others to exist, only Nazis to exist.
Sir, there's a debate in this subject that whether he was truly a Nazi or not. He was famous for fighting ethically, where he did not follow the orders of Hitler to eliminate Jews or to attack African soldiers specifically. So, sir, it is believed that he himself, although was aligned towards the Nazi party, but was not a Nazi at heart, and he was even involved in the July 20 plot to assassinate Hitler. So,
Okay, I think, therefore I am.
yes.
What does that mean?
Sir, this is a famous phrase of René Descartes, and he uses the Cartesian method in which he doubts everything. But he says that I cannot doubt that somebody is doubting, and thus he says that I think because someone is thinking and he's doubting, therefore I am. So this validates my existence because I can think. That is why I exist.
Okay, fine, thank you. See, this is now we have inaugurated Ram Temple, Pran Pratishtha has been done. See, apart from the economic benefits which we may get, the area will get, the country may get, what other benefits we as a country or as a people, as a community, we will be getting from the long run by this?
Sir, by the reinstatement of the Ram Janambhoomi temple, there are certain benefits that we will get. First is the cultural rejuvenation. We are embracing our original culture and the values that it imbued. Other than this, sir, Ramji himself is a very important figure in our moral thinking as well. And it's his ideals that we ensue to take forward. As we have seen, the government is pushing for establishing a sort of Ram Rajya in which the original values of Lord Ram and his philosophy of life as well as kingship will be restored.
Okay. See, now the recent Supreme Court judgment on electoral bonds.
Yes.
You might have gone through that.
Yes.
Now, tell me why the electoral bonds was introduced in the first place, and what are the implications of Supreme Court banning the electoral bonds?
So the electoral bonds were initially introduced in order to protect the identity of the donors who donated to political parties, so they do not face political reprisals for their donations. This was the major aim of the electoral bonds, as well as to reduce the supply of black money into election funding. But sir, the Supreme Court has struck down this scheme and it has advocated the government to come up with something that balances transparency as well as protecting the rights of the donors. So, sir, in this, the Supreme Court has also asked SBI to release the list of the donors who have thus far donated to these political parties.
So, what is the implication now? What will happen? Do you think that black money and the currency donation in hard cash will become the new thing now? The very purpose has been.
Sir, while the Supreme Court has asked the government to come up with a midway solution until the solution comes up, it's very difficult to say what will happen.
Do you think the judgment of the Supreme Court is fair, or it should have been given in a different way, or something else you could suggest?
Sir, according to my limited knowledge, the right to information under the Article 19 has been declared a fundamental right, and since we as voters have the right to know that who are the people who are funding these political parties, and by that we can gauge what are the objectives that these parties are fulfilling. I believe, sir, it is a welcome step, although it does leave a room for the black money issue, but that the government will have to tackle with another law.
But then killing the entire system as such is a good idea.
So the court has said that we are not killing the entire system. We are asking you to bring something similar, but one that which will balance.
Had they given just to only Right to Information Act, they could have limited their judgment up to that only. That would have been better or worse?
Sir, I believe the system did need an overhaul, and this decision is right. What will happen will be dependent on how the government tackles this issue now on. But this provision had to be struck down because of its lack of transparency, in my understanding.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Mr. Romel, you seem to have very interesting pursuits. Free will is more myth than reality. Speak for 1 minute on this topic.
Sir, while free will is a concept that we take for granted in our everyday lives, we believe that we all have the power and the capacity to choose, and we are choosing for ourselves only. But there has been an argument of whether we actually have free will or not. Even in the past, 2 Christian philosophers have also thought about this, that how can God, who knows everything and does everything and controls everything, can allow for free will. But some counterclaims have also come there. Right now, there is a movement by the biological side, like Robert Sapolsky is a famous author who has come up with a book that our behaviors are linked by neurochemistry. But sir, the point of the matter is that we completely still do not understand how the human brain functions and whether or not we have a free will. I personally, sir, feel that in existentialism, the best part of free will is that whether or not we have it or not, it does not matter. We live a far better life when we understand, when we consider ourselves to have free will, make our choices, and then take responsibility for those choices. So this is my view on free will.
Very good. Can you name 5 fundamental duties?
5 fundamental duties, sir. Sir, while I cannot paraphrase as of now, but
The gist of it.
yes, sir, spreading fraternity and brotherhood among the different sections of the society, protecting the environment, protecting our shared cultural heritage, respecting the national flag, as well as our national movement, are some I can recall as of now.
Okay, good. Who wrote War and Peace?
Sir, War and Peace was written by Leo Tolstoy.
And have you read it?
Sir, I tried to read it, but it was very bulky, so I gave up midway.
There's another book, which is like that, Dostoevsky's The Idiot, in so many.
You're absolutely right. Quite often I say it's commonly used. I want a just, not War and Peace. So what you're saying is absolutely true. Carry on, please.
Yeah. Is war the right way to settle differences and issues which are conflicting to the interest of nations?
While, sir, war is never the advisable path to settle disputes, but we must have a relevant knowledge as well as preparation for warfare, because as we have seen in history, deterrence is the best form to avoid warfare, rather than believing that war will never happen and we should never prepare for it.
But can the deterrent philosophy ever end? I have nuclear weapon now, you also have. So now both of us can annihilate each other. So we migrate to another thing. So is it like traveling in progression,
Sir, unfortunately, this is a drawback of the deterrence mechanism. But as we have seen, it has proven to be much more useful as compared to the original means when warfare was very, very common. And we have seen what happened in First World War and Second World War. And since atom bomb was invented, and it sort of proliferated to other countries, wars have gone down a lot. So I believe, sir, it is the necessary evil that is
Okay,
required.
suppose, a war migrates into that domain, the next domain. How do you visualize wars will happen?
Sir, by next domain, if I can get a
I
clarity.
mean, today it's conventional warfare, tanks, missiles, and deterrent kept separately. But so, what are the different areas in which wars can express themselves?
Sir, currently wars are being expressed in the domains of cyber warfare as well as space warfare.
Okay.
And electronic warfare with the proliferation of drones has also become a
Yes.
growing field.
Yes.
So, and psychological warfare as well, sir. These are
And
the,
bio.
yes, sir. Bio warfare is also there, although it's prohibited.
Okay. Okay. Good. What is the reason of Joshimath's sinking?
Sir, there are multiple reasons given for the sinking of Joshimath. The most relevant one, according to me, and the papers that I have read, is that it is built up on a glacial moraine region. And since the glacial moraine itself is not a very stable ground, the land itself has been sinking for many years. There has been a Mishra committee also, which was constituted in 1980s. So this problem has been going on from that time. And recently, the sinking has increased because of the land use pressure, because of increasing population, as well as the absence of a sewage treatment facility, which is not there. So this sewage sort of creeps in into the ground and weakens the ground even further, which is already built on shaky substance.
Thank you, Romel.
Thanks.
Romel,
Yes.
tell me why quantum computing is being sought after. What makes it faster than normal computing?
So quantum computing is based on qubits, and these qubits have a very unique phenomena, which is called superimposition, in which changing one element will lead to a change in the second element without any sort of communication between the two. So, sir, this makes it much more faster than
Why?
other.
I mean, you're talking in jargons. I'm asking you the main reason why this computing speed becomes faster.
So because in that one bit itself can take many forms, rather than in the binary form, only 1 or 0 can be expressed. In that, a single bit can, like in a wave format, in a particle and wave format, it can express many quantities at one time. And
So,
sir, it
again, you are talking in jargons.
yes, sir.
Why does it increase the speed?
Sir, maybe I have not read in much depth. I
All right.
think about.
What is Sugauli Treaty?
Sir, Sugauli Treaty is the treaty signed between British India as well as the Gorkha Empire of Nepal, and it was signed after the British defeated the Gorkhas in the Battle of Khalanga that was fought in Dehradun.
Okay.
And according to it, it demarcates the border of Nepal as well as Uttarakhand, that is in India.
So, what is the controversy about this?
So the controversy about this relates to the Lipu Lake region,
Okay.
in which Nepal claims, in which the border has been defined by the Kali River, and so this Kali River has two headwaters which merge into it. One is the eastern headwater, and India claims that the boundary of Nepal begins from the eastern headquarter.
Yeah, okay.
From the eastern headwater, sorry.
Yeah, all right. What is the most modern Russian airplane which has been in news yesterday and today, on which President Putin rode for the first time, and it is touted as the best airplane till now?
Sorry, sir, I have not followed this news.
You have not seen Tu-160M?
No, sir, I have not followed this news.
Read about this and the features, special features. It can carry 11 nuclear arms together and it can bomb directly up to US.
I will definitely read.
Who was Navalny?
Sir, Alexei Navalny was the major sort of opponent of Vladimir Putin. He sprung into the spotlight after his campaign against corruption in the Putin regime in
All
2008.
right. So how did he die?
Sir, while there are multiple allegations, the Russians have claimed that he died due to a cardiac disease, while many posit that he was poisoned by the Russian.
All right. So, similar way, the question that was asked, Zelensky can also be eliminated by the Russians without doing anything, isn't it? All right. Who are in G20 Troika right now?
So the G20 Troika right now includes Indonesia, India, sir, India, Brazil.
If you do not know,
Yes, sir.
say I do not know.
Sorry, sir.
Don't guess.
Sorry, sir. I had the wrong information. I thought I knew, but maybe it's
Uh-huh.
yes.
All right. Last thing. Were the humans bipedal first or they had larger brain first?
Sir, while there are multiple theories based on these, the most relevant theory claims that we first became bipedal, and because we became bipedal, our hands.
What is the sign on the basis of which it was decided that humans became bipedal first and started growing their brains later? There's a very famous thing, I would say.
Sir, I'm not 100% sure, but something is coming to my mind. If by your permission.
Okay.
Sir, I believe it was the linea aspera in the femur bone, which is
Of
the
fossil named
Sir, Sahelanthropus chadensis is
Lucy.
the yes.
Fossil named Lucy. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay, talking of femur, it is said that the first sign of civilized living, social living, is apparent in any group of people
Yes.
when you find a skeleton where the femur has healed.
Yes.
Broken femur, fractured femur has healed. How do you explain this?
So this was a very famous statement given by an anthropologist, Mary Leakey, where she said that for her, at least, civilization began when we started caring for each other. She saw an Neanderthal.
Yeah. Now you've got it. You mentioned the author also, which is excellent. Let me switch now to how do you explain how laser printed, laser printing,
Sorry, sir, I'm not very well.
missiles,
Laser printed missiles.
laser guided
Right.
missiles,
Yes.
how do they work? Some team goes
Yes.
and prints using a laser, prints the target, and from somewhere else the missiles come.
Sorry, sir, the inner workings of this I am not very aware of.
Okay, it has been used in several engagements, so maybe I thought. Have you heard of Mission Shakti? Okay, I'll tell you which Mission Shakti. There are so many missions going around. The Honorable Prime Minister appeared for the second time on TV to announce to the nation that we have got the distinction of being the fourth nation in the world to shoot down a satellite in orbit.
Yes.
What is the technology involved and what's the big deal about it? I mean, anybody with a handheld Stinger missile can shoot down an aeroplane, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Or in a dogfight, any plane can shoot down another plane. You see that happening.
Yes, sir.
So how is this distinct?
Sir, the Akash ASAT, I think we're talking about.
Just come to the technology and not the trivia. Yeah.
Sir, like you're asking about how the technology operates or what is the
Yes, how
significance?
distinct is it from a handheld missile or something happening in a dogfight, where a missile is fired and shoots down an aeroplane?
So the range is very much different, and the technology, the rocket fuel that is the rocket launch that is required for it requires much more payload and is significant as countries might use satellites for reconnaissance and surveilling our areas.
No, that's the what you can do with that
Yes.
technology. What was distinct? Why is India the fourth country? 120 countries would be having missiles.
Sorry, sir, I have not read about this.
How does the handheld missile work within the atmosphere
Sorry, sir, I have not.
Flares deployed.
Yes, sir, flares are deployed, but
It goes after the infrared rays, infrared radiation emitted by the plane. Here, 300 kilometers away, where is the infrared radiation? Read more about it.
Sure.
Okay?
yes, sir.
All right. How do you feel you have fared?
Sir, not too good, not too bad.
Why not too good?
Sir, in terms of the technologies, I was lacking in some.
Okay, I'll give you my little brief. Firstly, you have to unlock your hands.
Okay, sir.
You're speaking so much and not speaking through your hands.
Okay, अच्छा, ठीक है सर. Yes.
आराम से रखिए हाथों को और उनको इस्तेमाल कीजिए. Use them for gesticulation, expressing your viewpoint.
Yes.
Secondly, you see, just that anthropology question I asked about the femur. Try to make the answer is so simple. It's a 5-second, 10-second question answer. You are sort of making it a 20-second answer, aren't you?
Yes.
In the process, you want to convince me that you know about it. You know everything about it. Author, this, that. Your presence of mind is absolutely superb. Right? But try and make it crispy. It's as if you know 100% of the answers you may be knowing. But you also know the text, references, this, bibliography. Stick to the question.
Okay, sir.
Right?
Yes.
Stick to the question. Don't make it more detailed. Otherwise, it will appear as if, fine, you are an encyclopedia, but as if it's bookish.
Okay.
Express it in your own natural, comfortable, confident manner
Yes, sir.
in the required number of words. That's all.
Yes.
Otherwise, great personality, great presence, great depth. What you don't know, you don't know. Perfectly fine. And above all, since you will probably be knowing a lot, what you don't know, simply say, sir, sorry, I don't know. Or the best case scenario, sir, I'm not too sure about it. Would you permit me to take a guess?
Yes.
That gives you that much leeway.
Elaborate.
Okay, good enough.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're fine. When is your interview?
Sir, on 8th of April.
Oh, way off. You can practice. Sir,
Yeah, it will be refreshing, and particularly I think it's your first time, right? So the kind of confidence level, the personality, and in general, I mean, a lot can be done with you, and so it's all positive. You know, this little kind of fine tuning that will happen. You know, but I think as the chair seemed to imply would go along, you have that quizmaster's kind of instincts. You know, instantly I know the answer kind of thing. You know, it's sometimes a little more than that. You don't want to go wrong in a quiz. You know, simply somebody asks you a question, instantly I know the answer. But here it's a little more. You know, the analysis portion, presenting it in a way that shows a little intellectual capability, and being very concise, right? Yes. At the same time, a little substance. So I think that it's not just about right and wrong, but people are testing you for your, ability to evaluate things. You know, so that is one. The second about this warfare thing, I just there could be experts with far greater knowledge of defense methods, methodology, and all. The only thing I would caution you, actually on this panel, two of us know a lot about Russia and Ukraine. We have spent a lifetime there. But there are people who know the defense side. See, Russia, the problem with Russia is they don't talk much, right? And their literature is in Russian. So the kind of analysis you get is Western, which always shows the Russians in poor light. In the early 90s, the Chechen leader Dudayev was eliminated. He was talking on a satellite phone, and Russians just precise missile hit and he was gone. The Chechen conflict ended like that, So remember that, everybody likes a little balance when you know from both sides. So when we depend a lot on Western journals and assessments, there must be a Russian side. After all, why are they fighting?
Sir, I followed this on The Economist, so that must be showing my bias.
Yeah, so you can pick up that. So in any case, that was very good. All the best to you.
One or two small things. You just, when you're answering, just don't keep on looking at the one person who is asking question. Other person should also be engaged just by giving glance. You told them? Okay.
eye contact is. I have written it. You have to answer to the entire board.
All right.
So roughly 2/3 at the person asking, 1/3 at all the others. They are also going to evaluate you and give you marks.
Definitely.
And add one finance paper also,
Okay, sir.
apart from regular newspaper, and read center page articles and some facts and figures, because one or two questions on economy or economy related matters make figure in the interview.
Yes.
Normally, people from current affairs they forget to touch about the economy part.
Yes.
And in international news, you are watching any channel
International, sir.
news.
Sir, I follow Stat News Global mostly, so,
but
but it's
then-
more defense related.
Then Beyond TV and
Beyond TV is
and
good.
the first post.
First post. Okay, sir. Yes.
One little thing, General Rommel, his victories,
Yes.
be aware of it. And for example, while you say modern warfare, the top strategists in history have been Hannibal, Alexander, Caesar,
Yes.
right? Napoleon. Learn a bit. I mean, even Hitler.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to know. And how this fellow Battle of Waterloo, small little things.
Yes.
Okay.
Romel, your subject is computer engineering,
Yes, sir.
applications to modern warfare.
Yes. Okay, sir. I will.
और ये जैसे laser painting is a huge technological, almost like swarm of drones. It's that level.
Yes.
थोड़ा पढ़ जाइए वो टॉला से. Please, sir.
You have taken few mocks before?
Sir, I've given 2 mocks before this.
What was the feedback?
So the one consistent feedback was this only, that I speak too much sometimes. And other than that, sir, was that in one mock I was not able to comprehensively answer. So they were saying, please think before answering. Other than that, sir, there was no such feedback.
Yeah, both these are valid comments. I hope you have improved on
I
those
will
things.
try further, sir.
But I have written here that you have a lot of time. That is why I am giving this advice to you.
Yes.
Pick up keywords from your DAF and make a pager on each of those words, and think how many ways a general panel can ask you questions related with that. Current affairs, general awareness, not going into deep something, but a general panel of seniors, what questions will they ask? What kind of questions? Try and make a pager on each of them, and if you can find some bulleted answers to typical questions, suppose somebody is asking you that question, give the most important answer first and then later. That way you can also reduce your verbosity
Yes.
in your answers. All the best to you.
Otherwise, you are more or less ready.
Yeah.
Just fine tune these things and you're ready.
Sir, one question I had, sir, in terms of this modern warfare only, sir, which aspect should I cover more? Should I be more focused on the Indian defense architecture?
Yes.
And this, but sir, I think that I will not be able to
There's
cover
no
the
but about
technology.
it. You asked me what you should focus more.
Yes, sir.
I told you, Indian.
Okay, sir. And sir,
That does not exclude the other.
yes.
That is lesser priority.
And sir, in terms of technology, in how much depth should I understand? Like,
You're not supposed to be an expert. You're just following it as a hobby. Remember?
yes, sir.
You study whatever. Do not take this pressure on you that I still have to practice. I still have to know. Because nobody can know everything. Question can come from any side. Whatever you read without pressure on yourself. Information, keep gathering information. And if at the final interview you are not able to answer few questions, no problem. It is absolutely no problem not to be able to answer questions. But whatever you have studied, you know that. That is it. That should give you confidence.
I would simply mark as follows, since you have lots of time. Whatever is happening, whatever you see in the news,
Yes.
President Putin went, or that some other weaponry happened, or whatever. Read that and then Google it and read a bit more. That's all.
Definitely.
You're following it.
Yes.
Following it from where? Newspapers, not from defense journals, right?
Yes.
So that's a very natural thing to be fond of.
All right, sir.
That's about it. Okay? Carry on.
Thank you, sir.
Your tie is a little shorter for your height. Stand up. Stand up. Yeah.
Yes.
It should touch the belt.
Sir, actually, I'll go back home and then I will ask my mother to sort of lengthen it. I was not trying to fiddle with it.
All right. Okay. All the best.
Thank you so much, sir.
Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.